Hey, it's Jose. I haven't been able to make a video lately. I have had my daughter's daughter on top of the two children that I'm raising. So I've had a 10-year-old and two 21 months old for the last little bit. My daughter's back now, and here I am. I just want to say thank you very much for sharing on my journey to I am. And today's December the 6th, the 8th. And I want to talk about being a black sheep growing up as a Jehovah Witness child. Now, I grew up as a convert from Jehovah's Witnesses from the time I was 5 till I was 19. My mom converted us, and we never did become a role model Jehovah Witness family. I believe that this type of thinking is what creates the black sheep environment, because they put the feeling that's on you that you're just not good enough. My mom was a single parent with 4 kids. There's me and my 3 brothers. We all have different dads, which I can't even imagine having to raise 4 kids alone. So I have to thank my mom because I know she did her best, even if I am having to heal from it today. Life was pretty unsteady for me and my family. We moved a lot. So I think I went to about 4 congregations and 11 schools. I have extremely high energy, and not everybody loves that. I can't remember having too many offers to come over to play with some witness kids after I'd had a few visits. I didn't make any long-lasting relationships during my time as a Jehovah Witness, although I do know a lot of people from then. Some are even on my social media today, but I am not really close with any of them. My mom did do her best to reprogram us when it comes to like the book study and the nightly meetings and door-to-door and the quick builds. I'm actually grateful for the quick builds because it pointed me in the direction of my hobby, one of my hobbies, which is carpentry. But because of my mom's mental health, she wasn't really able to reprogram us with a whole new way of life. So we kind of actually dodged a bullet there. As for the personal book studies that you were supposed to have with a baptized member of the congregation, I didn't finish any book study that I started as a kid. And I started at least 5. There was, I think, the Great Teacher book, which was pink, the Revelation book, the Live Forever book, Young People Ask book, and I don't think I even finished the Bible story book as a study. Like, I might have read all those things on my own, but never as a study. So I always had too many questions and comments, and I honestly just think that I annoyed the book study holder. But here's a little secret. I finally just finished my first ever book study with the Jehovah Witness. Yeah, you heard me. I studied with some Jehovah's Witnesses for about 3 years now. But I'll tell you this. These are elderly people that I grew up with. They're from my childhood. And I told them right from the get-go. As soon as they showed up at my door, I let them know my belief system, that I wasn't interested in becoming one of Jehovah's Witnesses, that I would not be getting baptized as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, but that I'd love to hear what their beliefs are. I'll get into this a little more later because it's pretty cool, actually. But I can't be converted to any organized religion. I only believe in knowledge, and we'll leave that for another time. Back to my childhood. So, because of my mom's mental health, she has seasonal affective disorder. It's a form of severe winter depression, which I kind of think that everybody gets winter depression because there's less sunlight. In Canada during the winter here, anyways, there's less sunlight, and anyways, at the time she didn't know that she had it, so she wasn't able to control it, and she would be hospitalized for months at a time. So us 4 kids would get split up and be sent to go live with different congregation members. I only have one memory of any of those times, and I think I was 9, and I was living with a family, the Hertels. They were a young couple. They had a baby, and we were getting ready to go to the meeting, and I was feeding their baby while they were getting ready. I was already had my skirt and stuff on, so I couldn't tell you where my brothers were. But there's so much of my childhood missing. I just sometimes wonder if the lack of stimulus was just, there was actually nothing really important that happened for me to make memories. I don't know. But anyways, I don't remember having any play dates during these hospitalization times. I mean, these people were taking us in. They were already doing an amazing thing. Their lives are full for Jehovah's organization. There probably wasn't a lot of time for them to find activities for me to do or something fun or memories to be made or anything like that. I do remember going to a couple skating parties over the years. 1 or 2 weddings. I remember one for sure. And then 1 talent show. But other than that, it was always just me trying to fit in all the time because, you know, when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans, right? So now things are going to get a little, heated. When I was 11, my mom was disfellowshipped for the first time. So I told you that me and my 3 brothers all have different dads. So my mom's been married a total of 4 times now, and none of those people were our fathers. So it's not hard to figure out what she was disfellowshipped for. I can't tell you that it was not because of a lack of repentance or a poor attitude because I wasn't in that room, but I'm quite certain that I don't think that those relationships went on. And I know that she felt bad about herself. So, but if you grew up in the Jehovah's Witnesses, you know what I'm talking about when I say that you don't hang out with bad association because they spoil useful habits. So now the already low friendship rate goes to 0. And because we're bad association via my mom, and you've pushed the world away. Like literally, we pushed our whole Roman Catholic family away, so they're not talking to us. I mean, well, we're not talking to them, but we have no friends. So now we're totally lonely. I mean, I was pretty lonely. I start watching movies, reading books from the library, and listening to the radio so I wouldn't be bored. And for the first time as a witness, I'm allowed to have some friends. Since becoming a witness, I'm allowed to have some neighborhood friends. She starts letting me hang out with some people from the neighborhood. And it's funny because I was talking to my brother the other day, my second oldest brother, Mike, and we were talking about how I had a boyfriend. And I was like 11 and a half. He was 15. And that's just weird because I'm raising my 10-and-a-half-year-old granddaughter right now. And in a year's time, I will not be allowing her to date a 15-year-old. I'm not really sure what my mom was thinking there. But anyways, around this time, I saw the movie Grease. Has anybody else saw the movie Grease? This was my favorite movie. That Sandy at the end of the movie was so hot with her big gold hoop earrings and her tight clothes, and she was smoking cigarettes. And I was just like, at this point, I start trying smoking, right? I'm going to try smoking. And I secretly smoked for the next couple of years here and there when I could get my hands on some cigarettes. I mean, before we converted to this religion, my mom smoked. Up until I was 6 years old, she smoked. There was even 2 pictures of me smoking when I was like 2 years old. My mom had left her cigarette in the ashtray, and I had picked it up and tried smoking it, and she caught a picture of it, and then I was coughing, and she had a picture of that, and it had been a joke like our whole childhood. But once she got baptized, she threw the one with the cigarette in my mouth out, and she cut the cigarette off the other one. But anyways, back to my mom. She got reinstated after about a year. So now I'm 12, and at the same time, my brother Dan, he's 16. He's really popular with everyone. He's popular at the time. He was popular with the families of the elders and the children of the elders and the elders. So they're all getting, the children's elders, his friends were all getting baptized. So he was heading for baptism too. And because I admire him so much, I headed for baptism too. Luckily, my brain sees patterns quickly and will not put up with inequality or hypocrisy. Like, I just won't put up with that stuff. So I read between the lines, and it said that if I never got baptized, I could never get disfellowshipped, meaning that I wouldn't be ostracized, aka shunned. But by the time I'm 13, my mom gets disfellowshipped a second time for the same infraction. And so we leave the city of Sarnia, and we move to a small native reserve about 45 minutes away and start going to that Kingdom Hall in a little town named Forest. My oldest brother, Dan, is not loving this new community. So he moves back to Sarnia. He actually moves in with the people that I'm studying with right now. They took him in. And he begins to shun my mom for being disfellowshipped. I didn't take this lightly. It actually pissed me right off. I literally got up in his face and tried to fight him. I'm a person that expects fairness and respect to be given and received. This was our mother, the person that gave him birth. I don't allow bullying of any kind to begin with. I have physically stepped in when I have seen bullying in action and said to the bully, Pick on me. Someone your own size. Bring it on. That's who I am. My anger to protect the weak will overpower my fear of being hurt myself. So back to my mom. She goes for reinstatement again and gets it after about a year of being disfellowshipped again. So now I'm 13 and it's the summer before grade 9. I finally make a friend at this New Kingdom Hall in Forest. She's a year older than I am. I go through a growth spurt right around this time and I get myself a new skirt for the Kingdom Hall. And I guess the skirt that I bought wasn't what the elders was looking for, because literally the first time that I wore it, I got pulled in at the back and told that it was too short. It was just above the knee when you were standing up, and my mom had okayed it. But even though it really hurt to be scolded, I let it go and I got a new skirt, right? So now I get to high school, and before long, my friend from the Kingdom Hall and I are drinking and smoking cigarettes and smoking weed at lunchtime. And next thing you know, I'm getting pulled back into the Kingdom Hall at the back and was told that I got seen smoking, and I agreed that I did, because I don't like to lie. And that night after the talk, it was like a talk about, bad association and smoking, and it was announced that I was marked. So I'm not sure what happened to my friend after that, but I think that she probably got in trouble with her parents and we didn't hang out anymore. No more hanging out for us. All right, so I attended a few more meetings, and then I think by the time I was 14, I was done. Like, I'd just stay home and do the dishes or whatever, just keep myself busy. But now quickly back to my mom. Now I'm 15 and she gets disfellowshipped a third time for the same infraction. So she moves to a new town, Strathroy, and gets reinstated again, right? So this was the last disfellowshipping that she's endured so far. And to this day, she's a hardcore believer of the doctrine. As for me, I continued to believe and tried returning to the meetings and studying when I was about 19. The couple that I was studying with had a son that was 18 years old that I got along really well. My mom would host dinners for us that she would chaperone until she wasn't chaperoning. Boom, chicka wow wow. Back to another meeting in the back of the Kingdom Hall. The elders interrogated me about the sexual misconduct, but I don't remember any inappropriate questioning, because I had to just shut that down. I give no one power over me but me. And it was at this point that I was done with the rules of the Kingdom Hall. I continued to fear Armageddon for years. And straight up, I still sometimes like COVID triggered my Armageddon PTSD. The vaccine really triggers my Armageddon PTSD, because I remember the number of the beast, and I remember how you wouldn't be able to do any transaction without the number of the beast, and and I have to keep that in check, because I don't want to be living in fear. I lived in fear long enough. So, but anyways, slowly I lost my faith in a God and became agnostics. And then in 2007, I had a work accident that caused me some mental health issues. I ended up with anxiety and agoraphobia, and then some years later, I found out that those things were actually under the guise of PTSD. And because I was staying home, and I just started to study many topics, like straight up, I'm a big nerd. Now I'm a spiritual person, but I still have those agnostic traits, and I need proof, and things have to make sense. So I have ex-Jehovah Witness people on my, social media, Facebook, etc., that I grew up with, but I have difficulty connecting with them. I find it difficult to start conversations because I don't want to offend them in case they're still believers of the doctrine in some way or another. But I'm starting to be tired of hiding my new personality. I hide because of the fear that was put on me as a child from all the judgment that I endured while I was growing up. I'm done hiding now. Spirituality is such a big part of my life that I really just want to connect there. Not all the people are on the same part of the journey of life that I am. So this is to all the black sheeps. I love you because I love me. Don't let anyone else get you down. You do you. You have a great week, and I love you. Bye.